The color black is important in making brushes because, as we saw in the last chapter, you can create a brush from black artwork and then set your colorization to tints, and your brush strokes will take on the color that you selected for the stroke color. So let's focus on the color panel for a minute. And if we go in here, we can see that we have different sliders that we can use to mix colors. And when you're creating a brush that you want to colorize, it matters which black formula you choose. Currently, we're in an RGB document. So let me go to RGB. And if I just click on this default black swatch here, we can see the default RGB black is 0, 0, and 0. So we should always create brushes for RGB documents with 0, 0, and 0 black. If we don't, we can see over here what happens. So on the left, I have artwork that is a solid fill and then a brush stroke that's going around it. And we can't tell the difference between the brush stroke and the solid fill in this square. But here on the right, we see the same color in the solid fill, but a lighter color in the brush stroke that's applied to the stroke. The difference is happening in the original brush art here, and I have copies of them here. The way that you get your original brush art from your brush is just to take it and drag it out of the panel. So just like we drag brushes into the panel, we can also drag them out of the panel. Let me just go ahead and delete that. And with my white arrow, I'll go ahead and select the black in this brush. And I can see here that that is RGB formula 0, 0, and 0. And then this brush here on the right is different. We can see 35, 31, 32. It looks black, but it's not fully 0, 0, and 0 black. And so when we use the tints colorization method, we're going to see a tint of that blue color instead of seeing 100% of that blue color. So again, we set that here under colorization method and tints. All right, I'll cancel out of there. This can throw people off. It used to throw me off. And I think the reason is because of this brush right here. It's called Charcoal Feather. And you'll find it in a lot of the document presets that you start your documents from. And it'll be right there in the brushes panel, no matter if you're starting from a CMYK document or an RGB document. But this right here is a CMYK brush. Now let's go over to a CMYK document so we can look at this. When you create a black brush in CMYK, and here is that brush, let me drag this out of the panel. And then with my white arrow, I'm just going to select an object in here so I can see this. Currently, it's giving me this strange RGB formula, but let's go into CMYK, and now we can see what we need for CMYK. So this brush is just right for a CMYK document, and that is the K slider is set at 100%. I actually don't think it matters that these are 0 or they could be a rich black. I don't think that really affects the color of the brush in the long run. But the most important thing is that this brush have 100% black. And when it does, like the default brush does, then we get the ability to have a fill and a stroke that are the same exact color. So right here, if I choose the fill and I'll click over here on a blue color or kind of a purple color, I can just drag this exact color over into the stroke, and we can see that brush stroke and fill are identical. All right, so to sum up, for brushes that you're using the tints colorization method on, make sure you create them in RGB black, that's 0, 0, and 0, or if you're working in a CMYK document, create them with 100% black. This is an excerpt from my course Art Brush Workflows in Adobe Illustrator, part of my all-access membership where you can learn Illustrator with self-paced courses, live Zoom sessions, and a community of fellow learners. You can find out about it on my website, lauracoylecreative.com. If you'd like to see more videos, please subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.